the 18th day of Advent, December 16th. Today and tomorrow we'll hear from the greatest Advent prophet, Isaiah. The great majority of readings in the Advent time and season in the church are taken from the prophet Isaiah, because here in the book of the prophet Isaiah, we hear of what God promises. He promises a Savior, a shoot from the stump of Jesse, as we began with our Jesse tree, our very first day of Advent. So we hear from the prophet Isaiah what God promises, what he fulfills, what he gives. Let's listen to Isaiah in chapter 9, verses 2 through 7. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shined. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For the yoke of his burden and the staff for his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, you have broken as on the day of Midian. For every boot of the tramping warrior in battle tumult, and every garment rolled in blood will be burned as fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. If one of your favorite Christmas masses is the Mass at midnight, you will hear this passage from Isaiah as the first reading, because the church understands full well that the fulfillment of the prophecy in Isaiah here is Jesus Christ, the child born to us, the Son given to us, the one who is Wonderful Counselor, God Hero, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. For those who dwelt in darkness, a light has shone. What does John say in the first chapter of his gospel? The light has come into the world, and the darkness has not overcome it. If you attend Christmas Mass later in the morning, of course on Christmas Day, you will hear that particular gospel proclaimed from John. It is all about the light, Christ coming into this world to banish and destroy the darkness of sin and death, and to bring us everlasting life. That is why his kingdom and his reign will be everlasting. Saints in the making, as you and I place this ornament on our Jesse tree today, Isaiah's prophecy of a Savior, let us thank God in our prayer and in really every breath that we take, that you and I have a Savior, that the light has come into the world, the darkness cannot overcome. Saints in the making, keep looking to the light. How to do that? You know as well as I do. Make space for grace.